Yo, what's going on, guys? Frisk here, and today we're going to show you some MLB The Show 18 franchise gameplay. It's going to be with the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. I'm not going to talk into this. We're going to jump right into it. But before we do, make sure you subscribe for more MLB The Show 18 news and, of course, franchise mode videos when the game comes out for early access first pitch weekend on March 23rd. Let's go check it out.
We're in season, franchise mode, kind of mid-season, divisional rival here. Astros at home, so we're going to jump into a game. But we do have several new loading screens, not just for the storylines that we showed off earlier. We do have a lot of new loading screens, and of course an all-new look. Ted Williams was in the loading screen there. We put him on the Astros on purpose because we're going to show something off towards the end of this here. But let you hear this music. Turn off show batting info. Yeah.
In this one, it's one of baseball's hardest throwers, goes head-to-head with a top finesse arm. Next, Marquez beyond the mound for this one.
Here we go. All right, so we'll let the game breathe a little here.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. First of three here on a Friday night. As the first pitch is in there for strike one. And
Giveaways are done.
Giveaways are complete. Congrats to the winners.
Got to be considered one of, if not the hottest team in baseball right now. Winners of 8 of their last 10 ball games.
Yeah, Matty, taking a look at the standings right here, this team has a nice lead, comfortable.
God, we have extra headphones over here?
Look in your seat.
Got the advantage.
Oh, you know what? One of them.
Do you not have them? Here, you take them.
Totally kill you in the standings, and this team's sitting pretty right now.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Oh, and a nice changeup that time gets him to swing right through it as the leadoff man is down on strikes to open up the ball game. A chance now to look at the batting order for the visiting Rangers. Danny, who stands out to you?
Well, I'm always excited when I get to see Adrian Beltre do his thing. He's one of the best hitters to ever play the game. We're talking about a guy with 3,000 hits, a Hall of Fame pedigree that doesn't come around too often. You better appreciate it while you have the chance to.
Something I think worth mentioning there is that we're able now this year to highlight the same guy that we're talking about in the starting lineup introduction. That's new.
Putting the highlight on him, got the mug shot. Also the notable on the bottom of the OSD there, you get, and that's dynamically changing. Might be showing last month's stat, might be showing recent game stats, career stats, all that type of stuff. So that's again dynamic. Sorry I keep saying that, but
no, it's a good word.
There we go.
Now here's the pitch. That hits the outside corner. It's strike one. And our game time temperature this evening, a nice 74 degrees. Here it comes now to Andrus. Changeup gets him out in front for strike two.
Really deceptive changeup there. Very well executed. It looks like it just sort of dies when it gets close to the plate.
Example of the ball trail there. Also, you saw some new replay swipes on that one right there with the logo and the team helmet.
Oh, see some new. No, thought we might get a new catcher animation, but we didn't need it.
Mostly on like wild pitches where the guys like stealing second and stuff. Yeah.
Here's the third baseman, Adrian Beltre. And as you take a look at the splits here, he's actually better against right-handed pitching this season. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Thought he had the inside corner that time, but it missed for ball one. Time to take a look at the umpires in this one. Behind the plate is Mike Fillmore.
Hey, D-Roll, Mike Fillmore, one of the most consistent umpires throughout the league. Both pitchers and position players love this guy.
Yeah, I think one of the best in the business. How I judge a good teammate is every day he opens that door. Is he consistent? Can I count on him? Mike Fillmore is the exact same way behind the dish.
And he'll look at a fastball here that's close, but it's 2-1 now.
A little discussion about the umpires
blame
there.
him for not coming over the hard of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He's been swinging one of the hotter bats in the game.
Now the 2-1 pitch. It's in there for strike number 2.
We haven't touched a lot on some improvements to play-by-play, so I'll be doing that throughout this game. Something you just heard right there, you heard a pitch setup where he was saying, the 2-1 pitch, and then the result is on the outside corner for strike 2. Something we really tried to improve this year was the pitch sequence, and Mike does a lot of the logic there, and of course do a lot of the recording and writing and everything. We work together on that a lot, and something that you're going to hear a lot of improvements too, are the pitch sequence, the calling of the pitches before the pitch, and that includes off the bat.
He's not hitting over 300 by luck.
Base hits.
Could be, right, exactly.
Simple grounders, bunts, fly balls.
So it could be like the 2-1 pitch is swung on and hit really well to left field, that kind of thing. So, you know, a little bit more, you know, sequential in that sense.
Yeah, everything for a long time has been pieces, right? Pieces that work together, but they were not designed together. Right? So one of the big goals this year was, okay, let's, from the start of the play to the end of the play, have it designed to flow together to work optimally, to sound as good as it can.
Absolutely.
And it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, it's really
Mike
smooth.
Minor gets the call for game 1 of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, one of the things this guy does really well, neutralize the left-handed hitters. On the season, lefties are hitting under 250 against this guy, so whatever he's doing against lefties, it certainly works.
Here comes the second baseman, Jose Altuve, to get things kicked off in the home half of inning number 1.
291 average. Would that be considered a down year for Altuve? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's a
pretty
down
solid
year.
numbers there, but like
Down
maybe
year
a down
for
year for
Altuve
Altuve.
in
Like,
July.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Because the guy's ridiculous.
First pitch of the at-bat. Fouled away. And fellas, you take a look at this Rangers team entering play here tonight. They've been playing better than 500 baseball of late, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Grounded down the third baseline, but this will get foul for strike 2.
Who's that? Reels, your question, any changes to the playoff crowds? There have been changes to the playoff crowds. The same changes that were made to the regular season crowds, you'll see. So you're going to get a lot better reaction logic. One thing that you're going to love is rally towels and thunder sticks, no longer attached at the wrist. You're not going to have this random rally towel movement. The guys are actually grabbing the towels. Maybe we can show that off another time.
Give us what you have on this lineup as they start a new series.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, going into this, looking at both lineups, they're both hot right now and they can both swing the bats. We probably got a slugfest on our hands. What pitcher's going to make the big pitch? A big spot, execute something to get his team off the field. Otherwise, probably a team with the last at bats.
Couple things that are cool right there is in this case we saw the starting lineup and they were talking about the lineup as a whole, so there was no highlight on the player and we were showing the team stats. So they were second in the American League in hits, so you can see that on the bottom there. So there is a little difference there in terms of, you know, sometimes we're talking about the team, sometimes we're talking about an individual player. So, you know, a little bit of a, you know, interesting state there.
Reddick waiting, and now the pitch. And there's a pitch that just misses the inside corner. Minor's ready. 1-0 on its way.
Oh,
lifted into the air out towards center
same
field.
pitch.
Andrews is there, and he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
That's exactly what they wanted out of that pitch up in the zone. They took him up the ladder, and he couldn't get up to it. So that was an easy pop-out. Well-executed pitch there.
Just to answer a couple questions that I'm seeing about crowd audio. Kurt Kellenberger, our sound designer, went out to Arizona. We established a working partnership with them that allowed us to go and record crowd directly. So we went and did 8 games, including the wild card game. We created a whole new base layer of sound design. The reactions are still being worked on. It'll be a work in progress, but the base layer itself has been revamped, and that alone is a huge step up.
It's really noticeable.
And just knowing that we'll have a working relationship going forward. We met with some really great guys, Joe Carpenter, David Grundvig, and Fred Dominique. They're some really well-established audio engineers in the business, and they gave us some great tips on how we can improve going forward. So you will see more audio improvements moving forward, but for this year, a whole new base layer, 8 games worth of content for us to work with moving forward. So
you can hear like a lot more fidelity, like a lot more like individual little sounds, individual voices in that crowd level. You can hear some more of the soundtrack.
Astros, and this is still a 0-0 ball game. Next to bat will be the Texas cleanup hitter, Joey Gallo.
First baseman, Joey Gallo.
One thing I meant to mention earlier, but I'll do it now,
Ready to deliver.
is
Here's the first
because
pitch.
we have, because we put an
That
emphasis
sinker misses
and
at the
continue to
shoot
do
top.
so
Ball
going
one.
forward
Well,
on,
fans of the
conversational.
art of pitching are in for a
hold on,
treat. One
let
of the
this-
game's
let this
big-time
breathe.
flamethrowers faces a top craftsman here today.
And you're going to see two different mindsets from both offenses, Dan. Facing the power guy, he's going to come at you. He's going to pitch to his strengths and not your weakness. And on the flip side, the finesse guy is going to try and keep everyone off balance. And I want to see what off-speed pitch he has working.
Yo, Dero, that's one of the
Oh,
Uh-oh.
did you?
Swing, and he sends a ball high
Watch
in
that
the
crowd.
air into left field. Gone as it's into the Crawford boxes.
Tag Stadium feature there.
Absolutely.
Got a pretty cool one
Joey
in.
Gallo leaves the
let's
yard with
let
a
this
solo
play.
shot, and even 20 home runs for him now thus far. As the Rangers strike first, it's 1-0.
a lot more locations this year that we tagged.
So
in.
we finished tagging all
that's
Major
really
League
cool.
stadiums this year. We only made it through about 60% of them last year. I think the coolest thing is the $1 million can in Anaheim. You hit it in the $1 million can, you might hear something about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you heard right before that home run happened was, of course, they had started talking. They were picking up, about, sort of a little bit of a storyline, the matchup of the pitchers in this one, and so they were talking about that, kind of having their conversation, and of course, Gallo goes oppo taco on it, and which Gallo has plenty of power, and Crawford boxes are short, but they were able to cut off and then let Matt make his call there.
In now the power-hitting outfielder Nomar Mazara. As the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball
Which is
one.
so fitting, right? They're talking about the
Average right at
pitchers
280 coming
and the
in.
matchup, and
6
then,
home
of
runs
course, right as they're
and
talking about a guy gets
37
taken deep.
RBI.
It's always a jinx, right?
Right.
It happens every time.
Yeah.
Pitch on the way. Sinker stays outside and is behind now 2-0.
Boy, he just looks locked in at the plate right now to me. His numbers in recent games have been very good, and those were two stone-cold takes right there that put himself in a great hitter's count.
And a sinker is over that time. It's back to 2-1.
Here's a little, one of the new shots in Houston.
Looking great.
Again, a bunch of new ones. Kind of get the skyline there. It looks really cool too when the roof's closed. Same, it's different, but it's the same shot.
2-1 home. Altuve at second, backhanded. Throw on to first, so a good
What I was
comeback
saying
there
before
as he
the
gets
storyline
first out of the
content
inning.
had started.
Time for a look at the
Okay,
Astros
I'll
on
let this
tape.
play too.
Hey guys, the things I want you to focus on today, one of them being this manager loves to shift. He has the pitching staff to trust to be able to manipulate his defense to try and get as many outs and play the numbers as much as he can.
What I was going to say was we put an emphasis too on, as far as the play-by-play goes with Matt, is not necessarily commenting on every little thing. I think when we kind of listening and playing to the game, of course, we sort of felt like maybe Matt was commenting on every little thing. So something we wanted to emphasize was shorter calls, more to the point, but also if a guy just if a guy rolls a foul ball, just rolls over a foul ball, and it was completely insignificant, there wasn't any ever doubt. Stuff like that can be let go. We don't have to comment on every single time. So just kind of trying to trim down that a little bit.
Trim the fat.
Behind 0-2 now.
Say that. We've had Matt in the game for a long time, and so we have a lot of content. So of course it's important for us to, to make sure that content is fits well into the game, and that we're not overdoing it, kind of thing. For sure.
And he'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2.
Tried to get him to chase that 0-2 curveball there, but he wasn't biting.
Another thing,
Very well could see it again here, though.
as far as when we were talking about the situational awareness and the emotion,
Now a swing as he rifles this one into center.
this isn't really a situational type thing, but as far as the players' faces and the way that their faces are animating, in the past, we've had kind of pretty consistent ones where they're like kind of like look like they're chewing gum, or kind of just like moving their mouth slightly. We have a whole bunch of new like idle animations on the players' faces. So sometimes you'll see them kind of like crinkle their nose, or take a deep breath, or do it. There's a whole big new bank of those animations that we captured when we were doing the emotional stuff as well. And so you really notice that too when they're just kind of standing on base or whatever they might be doing. You'll really notice that as well, especially on the close-up shots in between pitches and whatnot.
Comes set with the 0-1.
Oh boy.
Another one fouled off, and he's quickly
not a great
for
pitch.
it.
Looking for a double play.
The 0-2 delivery changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball.
Good job by the catcher to keep the ball from getting too far away and allowing that base runner to get into scoring position. That keeps the double play in order, which they need, seeing as they've already given up 1 run in this inning.
Odor leads off first with 1 away. Oh, and this is swung on and missed. 4 strikeouts already, and that's out number 2.
The stinky cheese.
Fastball there.
It's just like,
and
give me
you
the
see a
ball.
lot of
Give
that
me the
pitch and strikeout situations these days. What makes it so effective?
I think, Matt,
Good
what
shot
makes
of
it
the,
such a tough pitch
little
is you're
trail there.
changing eye levels. That fastball up looks so enticing to hit that you see that ball as a hitter, you think you can drive it, but it's really hard to get on top of that good, high, hard fastball.
Up next for the Rangers, Robinson Chirinos. And as you check out his righty-lefty split,
Oh,
no
see
surprise
ya.
that he hits better against southpaws than he does against right-handers.
Now with the new tax system, you go.
But the Rangers are in the run column first on the strength of this solo home run. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's now 1-0 Texas.
It's a wall scraper. I'll give it to him.
But
So here's the Astros cleanup hitter, George Springer. We take a look there at the difference in his numbers between June and July.
so Robinson, Chirinos is just going all out. No catchers, no chest protector.
Really? See what he's doing right now?
We're just kidding, guys. It's an obvious
comes the
bug.
first
It's
pitch.
fixed.
Yeah,
Don't even worry about it. Yeah, we're not gonna ship
We
the
went
game with
final-
no chest protector.
We went final last night, so deal with it.
Yeah, we're just like, hey, he doesn't even want it. He's like, guys, I don't need it.
Rangers on D.
I don't even want to wear a
And let's
mask.
focus our attention at the guy who plays one of the premier positions in the game, and that's Elvis Andrews. Listen, when I watch this guy, I can't help but think Omar Vizquel. Came into the league, was all
This is regular PS4,
and
not
figuring
PS4
it out
Pro.
at the plate, and has consistently gotten better offensively while never losing a step with the glove.
Striding in for Houston.
Or it might be
Alex
PS4
Bregman.
Pro.
First at bat for him as he enters play third in the American
Stay hot,
League
Mike.
batting race.
Giving conflicting
pitch of
info
the
through
at-bat on
the
its
through the
way.
headset.
Fastball misses in the dirt as he tried to get him to chase.
Kind of
the
a cool
ball.
piece there from D-Road,
Nobody
spotlighting Elvis Andrews during the defensive alignment thing. He was.
Lined to short, but gobbled up there, and there are 2 away.
I mean, D-Row was playing not that long ago, and so one of the cool things about having him in the game and something really tried to emphasize him. It's a little bit of
Another,
little
like-
disbelief there.
Yeah, like that was an animation that was captured without any facial rig, but because of the bank of facial anims that we captured, we were able to add those types of things on. So you're not going to see the deadpan face, that you might have seen previously. You're going to see some emotion on these guys.
Right, and then it would have been like one of those.
Yeah,
What I was saying about DeRosa is that he something we really realized early on working with him is he really knows a lot of these players, and not just on like, oh, he's in the media and he gets to talk to them, but he played with a lot of them, and so I mean he was there with the Nationals when Bryce Harper broke into the big league, so stuff like that you get kind of cool insight with at times from him based on his knowledge of these players. One of his best friends, Brian McCann, so he talks about him a lot and that kind of thing. So.
Field and deep.
Into the sun.
And it's over the train tracks.
Bye-bye.
And
Oh,
it's
clears the
double
tracks.
blast.
Nice.
Solo shot here by Jake Marisnik. 7 home runs for him on the year now. And the Astros have pulled back even now with 1 run apiece.
With the count standing at 2-1, he was sitting on anything that was belt high from the middle of the plate
Yeah, a
in,
little bug there.
and that's
Seeing info
exactly
come up
what
a
he
little
got.
bit earlier, but
and that's what you call punishing a mistake.
we are aware of that bug. Ooh, that went
Wow.
deep.
Jeez.
That's what happens when you hang a curveball.
Brian McCann trying to make something happen with 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. He pulls this one into right. Mazzara is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of talk about, you know, about is there going to be a legend revealed this stream or not?
There will be a legend revealed in this stream. We're gonna play the game a little while longer, you know, let you guys see this and stuff. But we are definitely going to reveal a legend. I'm pretty excited about revealing this legend, and I'll explain why when we get there.
Backstory?
Backstory.
As good as Lick Livingston or better?
Lick Livingston? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Create a player like Livingston.
Well, you know, Nick was very hyped about Big Hurt because of his childhood, you know, growing up in Iowa by him, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing else.
We've heard it a ton of times.
No, yeah.
You can only hear it so many times.
Right. So you know, there was a long build up to that. I'll get to the point a little quicker when we get there.
Thank you.
But there is a little, you know, kind of a cool little backstory.
All right.
It's related a little bit to my family, so I'll explain it.
Ooh.
The 1-0.
No, I'm not related to Bob Gibson. Just like a family thing.
Boy, this is a spot you
Family,
really don't want to be
like,
in with
experience
a great hitter
with
like
him.
this. 2-0 count. We'll see right here if he lays one in there.